business. It's business time. Hang tight, we're gonna get into the business right here in a couple minutes. Baby, baby. It's business. It's business time. All right, we are here with week 39 of It's Business Time. We are joined this week by Michael Lewis Hassiepen. Thank you for joining us, my man, of Pollute Your Soul, LLC, and Mad Snake as an artist as well. You do film, videography, you got the music thing going, you got a very, very fun brand as well. If you don't follow him on Instagram, we'll get into all that here soon, but Pollute Your Soul. But yeah, man, I'm glad that you were able to join the pod. You have definitely been a nice kind of crossover into new artists, new groups, new opportunities, things like that. And I can't wait to get into it with you. Before we get rolling, I do always like to give a quick shout out to Stitch House. They are right here on Market Street. They always have 12 beers on tap, great food. So again, thank you to Stitch House. Come through. Oh, they as well are a local business. Oh, one other thing is The Post is open, also owned by Dan Sheridan, the owner of Stitch House. The Post, a local barbecue spot. You got to check that out as well. So we love small businesses. So does Dan.
We do.
So that's why we love Stitch House. And with that, we are rolling. Again, Michael, thank you for joining us, for sure. So you and I met a little ways ago through Theater N, actually.
Shouts out Theater N.
Shout out to Theater N and Andrew Larison for coming on the podcast as well. And that was a great that story with Andrew was a classic example of turning a bad thing into a good. I had corrupted footage.
No.
Yeah, the podcast, the whole thing got corrupted, and so instead I joined him at Theater N, and it was actually there that we met. And you were in the middle of a film project, working on a film project, and. Yeah, I try not to promote or talk about myself too much in these, but yeah, you had me be like the background band in one of the scenes of that. That was super fun. And yeah, just between being, working in one of our community theaters here or our better kind of theaters that represent like all sorts of indie artists, things like that, and then into like, you are in school for film. Mm-hmm. You're an artist, all that stuff, like, it's a perfect kind of fitting, because what this podcast is all about is it's for those out there who are about to start something, who are dreaming of starting something, and they kind of are getting in their own way. They think they need to do a million things before they start up, and you are someone, you're a young lad who's doing tons of different projects, so definitely an inspiration in that. Let's start with, so Pollute Your Soul's the LLC. That's the company that kind of a lot of these projects bloom out of.
Yes.
So let's start with Pollute Your Soul, the brand. What were you doing? How'd you come up with it? And then, we'll kind of work our way backwards from the beginning there.
All right. So Pollute Your Soul really didn't, the name kind of came about last spring, but it goes back. I used to be called Mike Media Incorporated. Way back in high school. So it was just like some homies and I from high school just like do podcasts after watching a movie or listening to an album. That's kind of how it started, but it started just me doing movie reviews.
Gotcha.
And just like posting videos about my opinion and nobody watching. I'd say like nobody, I didn't get like more than 100 views on a video until like a year and a half after. I still barely get views, but I still, some videos get like 10,000 views or like 1,000 views. But it started with just friends from high school doing videos about stuff that we like. And eventually it kind of bloomed into meeting people that actually make what I like music I like. So it's like, why don't I DM that person? Everybody's realistically just a DM away to get them on your podcast or talk with them about their music. Totally. Sometimes, it's not even you want to do stuff with them and you want to get some from it. It's just like, yo, I have a question about this album you made. What sample did you use? I want to know. That's the beauty of like the underground music community, is just talking with people. It's not so much like, I want to get something from somebody. It's like, let's just talk. It's a conversation. It's a community.
Yeah, got you. So the podcast itself, is that also called Pollute Your Soul? Is that the podcast, or what's the podcast name?
So it originally started as Hasscast, and then that developed as its own solo show where I'd review films and music. Hasscast then kind of branched off and adjacently ran with the show called Hass Discusses. Now that's where you'd find a majority of my most popular episodes under the banner Hass Discusses. I did that.
HASS Discusses.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
and I'd say for the first like 150 episodes, it was that. It started. It was like the COVID pandemic. I hung out with a friend, and we literally were on this trail in the woods, and I brought this audio recorder, and we recorded the first episode of what is technically this podcast. We recorded literally in the woods, just talking about American Psycho. It was spooky. It was like someone was setting.
That was the. Oh, okay.
Like of technically what it is has discussed is then eventually, you couldn't really meet up with a lot of people, and then eventually it's like, let me get you on. Let's put Zoom to good use instead of school, because Zoom was horrible for school. But eventually it's like, yo, let's talk. Let's get on Zoom. All these musicians I ended up inviting, and they just started joining the show, and it became a lot of fun when you couldn't do jack shit. You couldn't go out. You couldn't do nothing. So I used like the technology to my advantage, and then eventually I changed it to Pollute Your Soul about a year ago, because I feel like I didn't want it to just be about me on there. I eventually want to get more people involved and have it be like a real media network and brand. So I changed it to Pollute Your Soul.
Yeah, that's the upside and downside of putting your name on the business, right? On one hand, it's easy branding, because everywhere you go, you just have to introduce yourself, and then they automatically know the name. But the other side of it is once you start to branch out and bring people in, I mean, it's not that fun to work for somebody else's first name.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends what kind of company, obviously. But it depends on how cool their name is too. Obviously.
Like Marilyn Manson or something.
Yeah, like shout out to Kennedy Media. That's a very cool media.
Yeah, that
company
is. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
But yeah, Marilyn Manson, right? Something like that, where the name is the brand. But yeah. So you've worked through a couple different iterations of the name. You landed on Pollute Your Soul. I mean, that's a fascinating name, right? It's obviously easy to remember. It's eye-catching.
Definitely,
yeah. Is there anything deeper behind that? Or it's okay if you don't want to share. I just figure I'd ask because it's an interesting brand,
I go to my grave with the secrets of the name. No.
Yeah.
So, no, it's just like I'm trying to spin like negative, like Dead Kennedys, the band is like, at the end of the day, it's a profound statement, their name.
Right.
People see it and they're like, oh, they're just being dark and shit. But really, they're saying the American dream died with the Kennedy brothers.
Right.
I'm not here to have that discussion. I'm just saying that Pollute Your Soul sounds negative and dark at first. But I'm saying, like, hey, you're here, you're watching my content, it's going to pollute your soul. Similar to like how like parents, like if you're watching something dark, they're like, that's messing up your brain. That's turning your brain into mush. Gotcha. I'm that. But it's that stuff that parents yell at kids for watching. Like growing up, like when I would listen to a lot of rap music or, watch darker kind of movies, that's what people can connect with, the dark shit.
Yeah.
That's what people can really, connect with and shit, is the dark shit that will pollute the fucking brain, quote unquote. But not really. It's just cool, fun content for people to check out.
Yeah, it's true. And we're definitely kind of entering a phase with the podcast world, with everybody kind of having so much access to putting their lives out there. We're entering a phase of authenticity.
Yes.
Where it's, nobody believes anyone who's happy all the time and is sunny all the time. Nobody believes it, because that's not, 99% of us don't have that experience. Now, I do know a couple of people who are happy all the time, and I'm very happy for you. But most of us, we have ups and downs. We have like days where our soul feels polluted, so to speak.
Yeah.
But that's cool. So I want to go back a little bit too. What got you into film? Because really, like, one of the reasons I wanted you on the pod is because you're doing a lot of different things right now that are at the beginning of what could become like a very cool career as well in film, right? Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
You started at UAD, right?
I started at Del Tech, then
Del Tech.
Then transferred to Wilmington University, and now I'm transferred to Temple University.
To Temple, right? And so you get to meet a lot of different networks in that, get a lot of different experience. My sister went to Temple; she loved it. So I wish you a lot of luck there. And you're transferring for film. Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
Got you. So take me back. How did you pick that major? How did you decide this is my path?
Well, that path was kind of since a kid because my dad and my uncle would show me like the weird ass movies.
Yeah.
I'd be like
what? Give us a couple of the.
I'd be 4 years old. I'd walk in and my dad watching Kill Bill 2, and the eye pluck scene is out. And I'm like 4 years old. I'm like, yo, that's fucking crazy, yo. Or he's watching The Matrix. And then I'm like, I'm watching, like, I'm just being infatuated with these scenes where it's like, Mr. Anderson.
Yeah,
it's like,
Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, I watch, like, the normal kid shit, like Spy Kids or, SpongeBob. But from a young age, I was exposed to, like, really dark shit, like Rage Against. My dad was showing me Rage Against the Machine when I was like 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah,
and I was like, what's that dude on the cover? What's up with? Oh, damn, he's burning alive.
Right.
Oh, that's why Kennedy pulled out of Vietnam. Oh, okay.
Wow.
My parents kind of just exposed me. They let me watch Beavis and Butthead when I was like 8. You know what I mean? But they didn't want me to listen to rap music, which every now and then they change that opinion. They changed it when I was like in middle school. So I've always been exposed to like weird ass media, and eventually that was like my thing in high school, early high school, was like film. I started a film club at Appoquinimink High School. I was in a writing club doing like screenplays and shit. Then eventually like that kind of high school like dicking around phase happens where you lose your like passion that you had as a kid. So I still was into that shit, but nothing ever really happened. I started the podcast. That was fun. I was always interested in film, talking about film on the podcast. But then eventually certain life events happened later in high school that I started college with a fucking business administration major.
Yeah.
And that shit was cool. I met some really nice people. But everybody I met, I was gravitating towards the more creative people in the class, not the people who were like actually trying to do business administration type of shit. So eventually I found myself gravitating towards these creative people. I'm like, let's actually make my classes centered around creation and fun. And then eventually I changed to Wilmington University. I started to do philosophy classes, started to do more English classes, shit like that, marketing and shit like that, content class. Like it was a fun experience at Wilmington. The staff was very helpful. I just, yearned for going to Philly and shit like that. But Wilmington University definitely did help me kind of find myself. And they actually, one of the teachers' aides at Wilmington University helped me restructure the whole script of my film Stroke King, which is coming out soon. He helped me restructure it and to make the character of the movie have an actual character arc. So, school does really help people make stuff. Sometimes it's as simple as that.
Yeah, I actually was at Wilmington University, or back then it was Wilmington College. I was dating myself a little bit there, but no, I took a business class there, and I took a business class from the guy who managed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's finances.
Damn, that's cool.
So even though I'm not like the biggest sports guy, it's still like really. I mean, he's a legend. Like he's like larger than life for a while. And here I am, like in a little room. This is down on Route 13, the OG campus, and I'm learning from someone who has literally been at the top. And that's one thing too. Like just because this is a business podcast, I just put it out there. Is like, education is paramount. But another thing is like, not be humble about those above you. Go learn from those who are already doing what you want to do. I feel like one of the things that's been lost a little bit in social media culture is like having an actual mentor. Because, you go on YouTube, you watch all the best. Oh, you want to make money with YouTube? Watch Mr. Beast. You want to make money with TikTok? Watch this, Bella Porch or what. It's like every industry has its like top people. But those aren't your friends. They don't know you. They don't care about you.
They don't give a shit.
Yeah, but there's people. One of the real advantages of Delaware, too, being so close to Philly, New York, DC, all that, is like find yourself a proper mentor, someone you can look up to, and then be humble about it. Call them and be like, hey,
I need help.
Right? Yeah, well, you got it.
Like sometimes I call you, sometimes I call like a Don, the cinematographer, or Dimitri from 111 Records. Forming relationships with people that know more. But it doesn't even have to be in college. Like just in general, like if you happen to be at something and you meet somebody, or you can call somebody and ask them for help on something.
Right.
And just ask them for advice, and then maybe offer some help to learn with them. Like I need to help you set up this thing. I want to be your assistant on this thing. Can I just pop out and watch you do your thing? That's kind of how. That's better than just watching a video.
It is the hands-on. What's the expression? I was like trying to recall the expression, but it's like you retain like 10% when you read. I'm messing this up, but it's something like this.
Yeah.
10% when you read, 30% when you like speak, like 60% when you do,
Yeah.
and 80% when you teach, right? And that and
Yeah.
so if you really want to learn a skill, doing it is the best way, second best way. Teaching it to others is the best way. And you know, it's funny you mention that because it's like there are things that people reach out to me for that I know a lot about, but like the film world, for example, if you ever called me with a question about the film world, I have no idea. I got like 4 people I can send you to, but that's not my space, you know. I work on Adobe Premiere, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
And I just learned yesterday that they're trying to own everybody's content. Shame on you, Adobe.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they are.
You smoking that Adobe Premiere?
They're already being drawn into small claims court, but like what they're going for is kind of outrageous. For the creatives watching, like we might be involved in a class action lawsuit soon.
Shouts out Craig for recommending me DaVinci Resolve. There you go. That's what I'm using from now on.
I know. Well, I don't want to leave Adobe. I've been working in for so long, but you know, at the same time, if you scroll quickly and click accept, and then they own all your creative content, that's no fun either. But yeah, so creatives have to be careful. That's a lot of the reason on this series. You know, I've had everyone from HVAC repair people to like cleaning, floor cleaning supply folks, to marketing. Just last week I had Heather Cox on for marketing, great digital marketer. But the arts community, I think they're kind of like the vanguard of, quote, getting taken advantage of from the intellectual property perspective.
All the fucking
time,
yeah.
And so a lot of this series, I wanted to make sure to bridge that gap. So that's kind of a segue into probably the least fun question of the pod. So I like that you touched in business admin a little bit, because all artists eventually have to circle back to business admin.
Yeah.
But like, where do you anticipate, as you kind of grow your creative portfolio and your career, where do you see like some of the biggest problems coming from?
Trusting people to handle things that I don't know about or don't have time to handle.
Yeah.
Like getting somebody to do the marketing and maybe they don't market it correctly. Like, because I don't know anything about marketing. I just throw stuff at the wall and see if it sticks. I literally know the only thing, like, for instance, I'm throwing a show and I am not like posting ads about it.
What's your show? Talk about your show.
June 29th, Wonderland Records. I'm performing my new album.
Small business as well.
Small business, yeah. So I'm literally just going to any small business I know that has like Scout Cafe or like Jupiter Records. I'm just like, yo, can I put these flyers on your drawing? And
I interrupted you though. So Wonderland Records, your new album.
Yes, yeah. Shouts out Dimitri and Young Spark. They helped me basically mix the whole album. Well, Dimitri mixed it. Young Spark just came in and was like, "You sound like a bitch on this record. Like, redo it again." Like, and I like that shit because he will give you his authentic.
He's an authentic guy.
He's very authentic. Like he's just a very talented musician. He's very improvisational with it. Like he fucking is amazing at that shit.
This is my man on set that we were freestyling with, right?
Yes, that dude.
He's a great guy.
Everybody knows him. Yeah.
He's
the bad guy in my movie too. He fucked me up. Everybody go like he does a scene when he smacks me in the face with the mug. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
with the sugar mug, the fake mug. There's all this
Yeah.
coffee on the fucking face. Yeah, that shit was. And then I actually started bleeding, yo.
Really? From the sugar mug?
Yeah, from the sugar mug. So then I get a Don. I'm like, yo, film it. Come on.
Yeah,
Before I have to
yeah.
like actually fix the wound.
Right.
That shit was fun, yo.
I mean, it's cheaper than hiring a whole makeup crew.
Yeah, fuck all that. Yeah, no.
Real blood makes real films.
Yeah. Like Django Unchained with when Leonardo DiCaprio got the glass and that was real. That was some real shit.
And he knew it too, and he was like, I remember that.
But I don't trust. See, I'm tapped in with like everybody who watches my stuff or like listens to my music. I know them all the time. Sometimes I get texts and emails from people that I just don't know that are like, hey, I really like this. Hey, I donated, blah, 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 blah. But most of the time, like, I could just see myself panicking in the future when I actually have to get people to like handle business for me because like I just feel like they're gonna misrepresent what I do or just not be like authentic and shit.
I think I'll give you a couple keys that I've learned. Number one, like, know what you don't know. right?
Yeah.
When you hit the end of your expertise, then you start Googling, you start learning, you start calling people. Know what you don't know, because where a lot of artists get into trouble is they make assumptions everything's going to go right in a space where they don't actually know anything about that.
Yeah.
Number two, like, use the professionals in your network. If you're ever going to sign a contract, show it to your parents. Show it to your parents. I don't care what age you are. Your parents are going to come up with the best criticisms of everything. And if they don't know contracts, that's fine too. But a lot of parents at this point, they've signed mortgages, they've signed leases, they've signed all sorts of stuff.
Gotten
and
divorced.
I see so many artists get excited and sign something because they're excited, they're getting signed by a record label, whatever, and then they wind up with 2% royalties or whatever, or if that, or they wind up with flat rates. So it kind of comes back to know what you don't know. Make sure to use the people around you. And then, of course, too, like, there's all sorts of incredible tools out there, from LegalZoom to ChatGPT, all that stuff,
Facts.
to just cross-check what you don't know. And I say that as someone who is still absolutely in a learning process. I won't say I've, like, been screwed over like some, but, I've definitely entered into some scenarios in my life that I wish I had talked to more people beforehand. Oh, and one thing I'll say from sales, too. Sorry, I'm going on a rant here, but one thing I'll say from sales, if anyone's ever pressuring you to sign something, do not sign that.
Yeah.
Do not sign that. Like,
Yeah.
you should always have 48 hours, if not a week, to review things. Now, there's going to be some real estate agents out there who are like, a week? The deal's going to fall apart. Yeah, there's different scenarios, and not always. But anyway, I like where your head's at in terms of anticipating what could go wrong. Now, since I have you here, though, this is a total subject change. Oh,
Let's get it.
I didn't mean to cut you off if you were okay.
No, bro.
Okay,
Let's
this
change
is
the
a total
subject.
subject change because I watched a lot of your podcasts this week, knowing that I was going to be interviewing you. You are deep in the underground scene, like, you are talking to all these cool people on this podcast, Pollute Your Soul. Like, can you give us a little bit? Like, save us older people some time. Can you give us a little bit of your favorites that are moving right now, that are making noise? And it can be national acts, it can be local, it can be whatever, but just people that maybe you can put us on to. Because, when I have someone on who's an expert in marketing, they'll talk about marketing. You, my friend, are an expert in the underground music and art scene, so let's drop some good people. Have I stalled long enough to let you cue them up?
You good. Yeah, no, I got an idea. Yeah, you were doing that. Yeah, I was like, now I got people to think about.
Yeah. I was trying to buy you some time to think, because I know it's tough. It's like choosing a best friend or whatever.
Yeah, but a 901 Kruger. He's formerly known as Cocaine Kruger.
Okay.
He formerly was in Doom Shop Records. That's people like Cursed, Lil Kane, and Freddie Dredd are in that label, but he used to be a part of that. Now he's in 6 Feet Deep with Zach Rabbit. Zach Rabbit, too, because Zach Rabbit and Dead Hippie have gone on this beef with Shogun. So that's like everybody. I feel like the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef has like trickled down so much. Like, it started with like Migos and people like fucking arguing and dissing, and all these Rick Ross dissing. Now it's going like down to like people who have like 5,000 monthly listeners.
Yeah, well, you know what? They realized how successful it was, because when that beef started, I was like, great, here we go, another beef. I did not care. And then Not Like Us and BBL Drizzy, next thing you know, I'm like, now I care.
This is hard.
And I went back through all of Kendrick's stuff, like, just because it'd been a while, so I get why it's trickling down, because it's a good way to get attention.
Yeah, and now even somebody in the underground faked his death so he could sell cover art. He was like, buy all this cover art. I'm going sick and all this shit. So now I have a friend who's gonna diss the dude who faked his death. So now it's like there's so much beef
you
going on.
You want to rep the names, or is that
Alan Gunn is the boy. He's gonna diss Chainsaw Murder. He faked his death. It's unfortunate. But
I love this.
Underground music, recently I've been listening to a lot of like, I'm not even afraid to say it. Crystal Castles is not underground music, but I've been listening to a lot of them recently.
Crystal Castle. All right.
Yeah, I fucking love them. Alice Glass, because hearing about what she went through with the dude from Crystal Castles makes me want to appreciate her music, and it's actually not that bad. Even though she doesn't have as big as a following as Crystal Castles, you know, she is onto something, and I expect her career to go in the best possible direction after, you know, her horrible story and abuse in the Crystal Castles music group.
Wow.
So shouts out to Alice Glass. She's like, you know, if you like Grimes, check her out. There's this is more underground, like indie movie type stuff. There's this new movie coming out soon called Mass State Lottery. Mass State Lottery has the dude from Good Time. Anybody seen Good Time with Robert Pattinson? You seen that?
I'm familiar. I haven't seen it.
But there's this dude in it who was like the standout role, who recently passed away from an overdose. So that's his last movie. And he was like a really good. He's reminds me of like you know the dude that's in all the '70s movies, John Cazale. That's like he's in Dog Day Afternoon. He's in Godfather as Fredo.
Yeah.
But like he unfortunately passed away. This is like that, but for this decade, in my opinion. You know.
Wow.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Man, that you just dropped a whole, and I love that. Like for those who are subscribing and checking this series out, like how many of those names did you know before we mentioned them? I love you bringing so much, new information to the pod. A lot of good suggestions. You're obviously a wealth of knowledge. You know, we're gonna keep you in mind going forward. And what's the best way? Before, like, I want to keep these digestible. So before we wrap up here, like, what's the best way for people to reach out if they want to work with you, if they have questions for you, if they just want to listen to what you're listening to? Is that through Instagram? Is that like your main tip?
Go to my house, 39.
No.
So, yeah, no. All right, Pollute Your Soul on Instagram, Pollute Your Soul, at Pollute Your Soul, or Pollute Your Ears, or Young Chomsky on a Track is my personal, because I love Noam Chomsky, great philosopher.
Young Chomsky. I just saw someone else's playing around here where it was like, there was a pun on Noam Chomsky, and I guess it wasn't you, but it was something like...
Foam jumps?
No, it was a full word where it was like something gnome and then Chomsky. Oh man, I just blew that one, but
no, yeah.
I'll forward the flyer when I see it. But
yeah.
So Pollute Your Soul, at Pollute Your Soul, all one word on Insta. Yeah. That's like your main account there, and the best way to find you. That's
where I just shitpost. Recently I did this edit of George Bush with like some Drake music. I don't know, it just looked very interesting because I did this video. It was like George Bush, but he looks like a kid who just graduated high school posing by like a dock, like graduated out with some Vineyard Vines. He's like, and I just posted that with like I'm on one by Drake, and he was next to Dick Cheney, and I was like, man, these fools look like they're like 20 years old. It was funny to me. So I post a lot of like shit like that.
Yeah, I like it, man. I like the brand. I definitely think I definitely think you're someone that even if we weren't friends, it would be fun to watch, like from a brand perspective. Michael, man, thank you so much for joining the pod. Like this has been awesome. I love all those little gems you drop at the end there. That alone is some
Buddy
knowledge.
Duras is the guy's name. I forgot his name.
What was
the
it?
actor, Buddy Duras. He
Buddy
passed
Duras.
away. Rest in peace. Sorry, I had to cut you off because
I
didn't
for
mention
sure,
his name,
for sure.
and I just felt like I want the audience to know that. Yeah,
he deserves a shout for sure. So that's it for week 39 of It's Business Time, joined by Michael Lewis Hassiepen. And man, Pollute Your Soul. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you.
It has been awesome. I'm sure
Aaron.
I will see you around.
I'm gonna watch you fucking after this.
Right?
Thank you, bro.
Catch you guys later.
It's business. It's business time. Hang tight, we're gonna get into the business right here in a couple minutes. Baby. It's business. It's business time.